All right, welcome back to Twin Tower. I'm David.
And I'm Gary.
And today we are going to dominate the world.
Yes! We're going to talk about world domination and the leaders that love us.
Yes. So, picture, if you will, you've got a populist leader taking over a country with fiery rhetoric about invading the neighbors on either side of you to obtain their resources. What leader do you think we're talking about? Is it the short man with the funny mustache, or is it the President of the United States?
Yes. So, Trump...
Now, if we will roll back 10 years ago and we asked you that question, anybody who said, who answered President of the United States, we'd all look at you like you were ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, so... Trump's, of course, we've all seen the news cycle, and we're going to do a reading on this as well. But, Trump's out there. He wants to take back the Panama Canal. He wants to basically take over Greenland. And he's suggesting that it's in Canada's best interest to just simply merge with the United States.
Clearly.
And of course, he wants to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Right. He wants to launch missiles to kill cartel members in Mexico.
Yes.
He wants the Panama Canal back, and
a lot of resources, vacation property in Greenland now.
Yes.
It's interesting because in a way he's starting to pull his own Vladimir Putin, where he's trying to leave his legacy as the man that expanded the United States.
Right. Just like Putin's trying to recreate the Soviet Union. Trump wants his, what they call it, the Trump Road, like the Monroe Doctrine. They want to make it the Trump Road Doctrine, where, he does all this. And it's funny, I've used examples before when Russia invaded Ukraine to kind of put it in a perspective that we in the United States can understand. I said it would be like the U.S. invading Canada.
Yep.
It's like, we don't have arguments with folks in Canada. If anything, we see pretty damn eye to eye with them. And the thought that we would send troops to Canada to get rid of the Nazi party that's in charge of it seems ludicrous and far-fetched.
Yeah.
On our special 3-day military operation, which has now been going on for 3 years.
Yes. But here's Trump.
Yeah.
Trudeau is basically resigned his position. And
Trump trolled him for it.
Yep, because that's what they do.
Because he has no sense of humor. No. There was an essay written by a British author about all the reasons why folks in Great Britain don't like Trump, but the whole second half of it was his lack of a sense of humor. Gary and I just watched a quick clip on TikTok of the Carter eulogy given by his grandson, and every time they panned over to Trump, and he's just sitting there with his...
Yeah, there was a joke about Jimmy Carter. Every time he showed up, he was wearing 70s short shorts and Crocs.
And that's horrifying.
Yeah, exactly.
We all have had relatives that could do that.
It was not a good look in the 70s. It didn't age well.
Yeah.
And, you could just picture Jimmy Carter showing up at your doorstep in 70s short shorts and Crocs. And everyone's laughing, and they pan to Trump, and he's...
Yeah.
It's like he does not know what he's talking about. It's either he's not listening or he doesn't know what 70s short shorts and Crocs look like.
Right.
Because the grandson's eulogy was absolutely...
It was hilarious.
Funnier than hell. And everyone's enjoying it except for,
the sullen 9-year-old who's stuck there.
Yeah. And so, maybe he was just listening to music in his head at the time.
I don't think... Yeah. Ave Maria. Hang on for a second. I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to... Oh, we're back.
Okay. Whew. I had to freeze. That was a long pause for us.
Actually, he held that position the entire time.
Almost.
My hard drive has so much space, I didn't delete like a half a dozen videos, and sometimes if you don't delete it, it's only going to want to save this one in front. It'll automatically stop the reading.
It'll look like we don't know what we're doing. Well, we wouldn't want to give you that impression.
Hell no.
So, but, you've got this eulogy. It was very funny. Trump wasn't laughing. He just has no sense of humor.
He has the concept of humor doesn't register with him. His idea of humor is a crass comment punching down on somebody.
Yeah, so
with a ha 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 added to it.
And we'll probably do a reading on that too, because I want to talk about the California fires at some point too. But what I want to do a reading on today is how are world leaders going to react and treat Trump? Because there's a far right candidate in Canada that's
Pierre Poilievre,
who's targeting Trudeau's become the Prime Minister of Canada, and even he put out a message on social media saying, "Not a chance, pal. We are not merging with the United States."
Doug Ford was a bit more blunt, but Doug Ford, who's the leader, who's the Minister of Ontario. Forgive me if I forget the exact title, but he was also very blunt. Like, if Trump thinks this is funny, I don't find this humorous, because Doug Ford's treating it like the leader of the United States is threatening to invade Canada.
Yeah. And then
that's not a laughing matter.
And the president of Mexico, when Trump was saying they should rename it Gulf of America, her pushback was they were going to call the
Mexican America they're going to take the mainland contiguous United States and call it Mexican America.
Yeah, so the upper 48 are going to be called Mexican America.
So world leaders seem to be mocking Trump. Mm-hmm. They're not like clutching their pearls and getting their panties in a twist. They're like, we'll push back and we're going to mock you.
Yeah, and so let's take a look at a reading on how the world leaders are going to treat Trump and how is Trump going to react to this.
Okay.
Now, this is hard-hitting journalism?
Yes, it is.
Or is it for entertainment purposes?
No, it's hard-hitting journalism.
Oh, okay.
Forget that whole entertainment purposes only.
It's about as hard-hitting journalistic approach as
Which one do you want? You want Trump's reaction or how the world leaders?
Trump's reaction.
Okay, so I'll do the world leaders.
All
right. Victory. Trump is all about show and pay attention to me. Even though he's won the election allegedly, we'll find out hopefully this week if that's really the case or not. But they're not going to let Trump beat them. If Trump wants the center stage, fine, but he's going to be the laughing stock. And it's not, when Trump won, he's going to continue doing and saying crazy stuff about wanting Greenland, about wanting Canada, about wanting the Panama Canal, because Trump's a chaos agent. And they've been through this once, and they know what's going to happen this next time around, so they know what the game plan is. One of the things about this is when you promise to get Greenland and get Canada and do this, you don't have to deliver on it. It's such big, overwhelming scopes. How do you measure progress short of a war? All Trump would say, think about Trump's healthcare plan. Oh, it'll be ready in a few months. We're working on a couple months. It'll be ready in a couple months. It'll be ready in a few weeks. It's going to be a couple weeks. Couple weeks. Not this weekend, next weekend. Over the weekend, next weekend. And he panned that out for like 2 years. Mm-hmm. He only has concepts of a plan. It's the same thing. He has no intention on delivering. If he can deliver on it, great. But he has no intention on delivering on it.
There's no path to getting this delivered.
Exactly. In the past, they know who he is. He's a fool. They're not going to put up with that. Current situation is the 5 of coins. Again, Trump punches down on it. He excludes people, and now they're kind of like excluding him from the club. It's funny. They're ostracizing the United States. Who would have known that? Okay, if the United States wants to be isolationist, we'll help them with that. The oligarchs aren't going to stand for it. Because I think what they understand is Trump's not in charge. Peter Thiel, Elon Musk are the real power brokers in the United States. Trump is just, he's the dancing monkey in this whole thing. So they'll deal with the oligarchs and see what the oligarchs have to say on things. The rhetoric will tone down. The oligarchs will tell me, I know, we're not doing any of that, and that's fine. Trump also, he's looking at the wealth and the riches of the resources in these territories because he'd want to grift it and make money off of it because Trump is poor. Even with all the money he's inherited and his true social stock on paper has given to him, he's got the energy of a poor person. He takes money and he squanders it. And so the thought that he could, expand the U.S.'s borders or bring wealth to it is just ridiculous because everything he touches dies. It's not lost on people. Okay, so you're going to...
Yeah, so how are the world leaders going to react? Or how is Trump going to react to basically the world leaders basically pushing back and saying, yeah, that's so not happening. Trump's natural reaction is to keep doubling down.
Yeah, of course. Right? Now they're ridiculing him.
Yep.
And if there's one thing narcissists do not like, it's to be ridiculed.
Okay, so what we got?
We got.
So how's Trump going to react to this? All right. Foundation is the Three of Wands. He's looking outside of the borders of the United States at all the conquests and all the wealth he can get out there and grab and bring and manifest for the United States.
Waiting for Vlad to tell him what to do next.
No, President Musk is going to tell him.
Oh, that could be that too.
Challenge. We got the same challenge, Wheel of Fortune. With Trump, you never know what's going to happen next. What's the next thing that's kind of spinning out of that yogurt that's between his ears?
All that it takes is somebody to whisper something else new and shiny to put in there, and then we'll no longer have to worry about.
Yeah, and this Three of Wands could also be looking outside of the borders at what other world leaders are saying about him and how he's going to react. Underneath it, the energy that we're not seeing is the Eight of Cups, emotionally checking out. It's the way I'm reading this card is he's just saying this shit.
But it's also when they do that. I had this card come up with Mike Johnson during the House Speaker thing. Mm-hmm. It's a humiliation. That this guy's walking away embarrassed, emotionally humiliated because they're challenging him. He's the alpha. He's the leader of the most powerful country in the world, and they're mocking him.
Yep. This could also be basically his brain walking away too, right?
Captain Von Poopy Pants.
Yeah, we're watching his mental health disintegrate right before our very eyes, and that could be what more of this is just more of that mental illness. 25th Amendment. In the past, Ten of Cups, hey, I won the election, yay, everyone be happy and do little twirly dances for me. And a lot of the world leaders, went down to Mar-a-Lago to congratulate him. And it is, when he was president back in 2016, a lot of ring kissing and butt kissing going on. Current energy, the Five of Wands. Once again, as Dave mentioned, he's a chaos agent.
Yep. He's not even in office. So look at starting in November with the budget. He's causing problems.
Yes. And so, current situation, I'm reading this two ways. The first is he's just throwing a bunch of ideas out there to kind of distract because, that whole sentencing was coming up and he didn't know what Mershon was going to give him. So if you throw this whole Greenland and Panama Canal and Gulf of Mexico and Canada, you get the news cycle pointing away from the trial. It's kind of like what happened with DeSantis releasing the Epstein documents. It was like the same weekend that he got shot in the ear, and those Epstein documents just went away. No one's talking about it.
Yeah, DeSantis, the governor of Florida.
Yeah. So in this case, it's probably two things. He's trying to throw distractions out there, cause confusion. Don't look at the election. Look at this other stuff the monkey's doing. But once again, his mind is jello. He's got mental problems. And they're starting to manifest. We're seeing it more and more often. We're seeing it. The folks that wear little red caps, they need to see it too. Overarching energy is the Eight of Swords. Trump has no path forward. Like I said, he's got no roadmap to do all of this stuff that he claims he's doing. And so how's he going to react to the world leaders? He's got nothing.
All he can do is double down because once he said it, it's his idea. Yep. Nobody else was talking about taking Greenland over. So now it becomes an obsession because, if you ridicule him, then he has to prove you're wrong.
Right. He's a one-trick pony. That's all he knows to do is just keep doubling down, call the other side a liar. It's just he has no path out. He's got no path to get it done, no path out. lesson to be learned is the Ace of Pentacles. Bring something new of value. Start something that is valuable to people. As opposed to, in Greenland, why on earth you can't say you want Greenland for defense. You want Greenland because there's things of value there.
It's going to lower the price of eggs. Remember, they ran on lowering the price of eggs.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think getting Greenland's going to be the chicken-laying capital of the world.
Look at all that potential farmland out there in Greenland.
So what it's not green?
Yeah, the lesson to be learned is if you're gonna start something, do something that's valuable to the people that elected you.
And
outcome. Oh boy!
I don't think these ideas are gonna be along the line.
No. The outcome is a death card.
He's gonna drop it. Eventually, he's just gonna drop it.
Yeah, he's gonna drop it. But at the same time, I've been talking. 3 of the cards have been telling me about his mental health. This presidency is the end of his mental health. I don't think this is going to knock anyone over with a feather in our audiences, right? We know he's mentally checking out. This is kind of we're watching him walk down the path right now. That's what I've seen, and I think the world leaders pushing back is going to not only humiliate him as his ego, but I think it's going to take a mental health toll on him as well.
And he's done it to himself. His party has put him in a position. We can go all the way back to Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell had multiple opportunities to remove Trump from office and chose not to do so.
Hey, bitch, read between the lines.
Yeah, F you. He thought that. Right after the January 6th insurrection, he basically said that Trump was morally as well as physically responsible for that, need to be held accountable. And then he did the political calculus thinking, well, we don't have to impeach him so we don't, alienate the MAGA base. We'll just have Trump go away and he'll never come back. Well, guess what?
Guess what, Mitch? You're the one going away.
They now cheated. They cheated even harder to get him back in with vote swapping and such. And so now Mitch McConnell and the GOP have to deal with this guy that they thought was dead. Literally, it's like the slasher movies where you shot Jason in the forest and you left him there for dead, thinking, oh, he can't possibly come back from that. And guess what? He's back. You could have ended it then. You chose not to. And now we all face the consequences of this.
I want to do a little 4-carder on what that death card meant.
Okay. You should do it at the time it's out, but hey.
Well, when I started putting the cards back, I didn't put it back. So, a little clarifier.
In other words, you cheated. Okay.
Yes. I'm the Republican.
Stop stealing from at the bottom of the deck.
So, what does that death card mean? Foundation is the 4 of Cups, Queen of Cups, a lot of Cups, Knight of Cups, Tower, and the 6 of Cups. Well, it's almost a full cup spread here. Yeah. So it's some sort of emotional based thing. What does that death card mean? He doesn't like what's being offered. He's emotionally not unhappy. They're trying to keep a lid on the emotions. They're going to make him a peace offering because the tower is crumbling, and underneath it is that whole nostalgia card. I think it's a mental health issue, frankly. His mental health is going fast. And they're just... The more he starts getting into the presidency, as we get towards the inauguration and into 2025, his degradation of his mental health is going to become more and more apparent. And they're going to make an offer to displace him.
And basically, he's going to get more emotional, and they'll try and placate him, and he'll just have tantrums until he, kicks his feet so hard and holds his breath that he pops a blood vessel in his brain, and then he's going to be drooling in a cup.
Yep, that's pretty much what it looks like.
All right, thank you very much for watching this video and supporting our channel. I appreciate it.
Yes, please. If you like these videos, give us a thumbs up, subscribe. We put out a new video every day at midnight, and leave a comment. I read them all, respond to many.
Yeah, thank you again. And one last thing that no other Twin Tarot channel offers you.
No other Twin Tarot with Gary and David offers you the secret
Boy,
card.
we're really narrowing the scope there. Are the other non-existent Twin Tarot channels now offering secret cards?
Well, we don't want to get sued, right?
That's true.
Okay,
Could
so
be wrong.
Today's secret card is, where's the camera? There it is. Four of Swords. It's time to sit back and think about what you're doing before you do it, which is something Trump is not good at, and something he probably should.
Lack of impulsive nature, heaven forbid. What are you talking about?
It's also, looking like someone who's lying down getting ready to die. So there you go.
Thank you for lying in state. All right. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one.
Bye.